Okay, this phone came to us with a home button problem. It can detect the fingerprint, but the home button is not working. So, as you can see in the video, the fingerprint, we are able to get the fingerprint, but home button is not working. So first we would take off the screen, the display. It requires some time to process. First we will remove the battery before we remove the display. Okay, and take off the flex, the display flex. And then we are going to take the home button from the display to check where the problem is. The display has been replaced, so we think that might be there's a problem with the home button cable. Home button flux. So normally we would examine any problems under the microscope. As you can see that the U10 chip on this home button flux, there's a puncture. It seems like there's a damage, so we are going to replace the U10 chip. First we will apply some heat to scratch out the glue that surrounds the chip. Use the heat gun, the small muzzle. The temperature is 260 and the airflow is 40. The flux is very fragile, so we wouldn't apply too much heat. Okay, first we would just scratch out the glue, and then we will apply some flux. We're about to take down the U10 chip. Okay, we use a soldering iron to put a little bit of the tin and press it against the chip and wait until the tin on the soldering ball melts, and we can remove the chip easily. This part we would exchange some tin from higher temperature to lower temperature, and then we would use some thinner water or mudable water to clean the flux. And then since that the flex, there's a ice insulator that is missing, so as you can see the circuits on the flex, so we will apply some UV max to insulate the pads. Otherwise, if the pads are connected together, it will cause shortage. The UV max has to apply some heat after to make it solid. Before it was liquidized. It was like liquid water. Yeah. when the first time you're trying to apply the UV mask to insulate the pads, it actually requires some of the practices because it's really a tiny work under the microscope. Okay, as you can see, we're trying to apply some heat to the UV mask, so make it solid. If the UV mask blocks the pads, we have to use the blade to scratch out the 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 pads, the surface of the pad. Okay, now I think that we're going to about to resolder this new chip, U10 U10 chip. The new chip comes with a higher temperature, higher melting point tin that we have to exchange to the lower melting point tin as well. So we will remove the original tin first and rebuild the chip. And try to always make the components or the motherboard itself clean as well as always, because it will help us to when doing this rebuilding. This part we use the stencil to and some soldering paste to rebuild the chip. Okay, it seems like the chip has been rebuilt. And then we're about to soldering back the chip. When soldering back the chip, we will apply some flux first on the pads, and then the chip. The chip comes with a position point. There's as you can see, there is a circle thing on the right bottom corner. That's the positioning point. Okay, and yeah, it's been resoldered. And then we will let it cool for a moment. When it's cool, we would put back to the display and test it. If it works, then the problem solved. Oh yeah, try to stay clean as possible, as always. Right. Okay, this step is we're trying to put back the home button on the display and test it with the iPhone. Connect all the flags first before you apply the battery flags. Okay. Alright, the phone turns on. Seems everything was okay. Oh, this is iPhone 7, by the way. Forgot to mention at first. There you go. The home button works. So the problem has been solved. And we'll try the fingerprint again. Alright, we are able to add the fingerprints. So everything is back to normal. So in this case, what we did was we replaced the U10 chip on the home button flex. That solved the problem. Okay, that's it. Thank you.